Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. On today's program, we will get an update from Quincy College presidents Richard DeCristofaro. First, though, we check out the news for you. Quincy City Council's Finance Committee this coming Monday night will be discussing a proposal from Mayor Thomas Koch to borrow $23 million to begin the process of creating a new home for Quincy College. Now, the mayor wants to purchase the Monroe Building in Quincy Center, tear it down, and create a new 15-story building that would house the college and city offices. He wants to tear down the glass building of New City Hall and move those offices over to the new building. The mayor says it's important for Quincy College to have a permanent home and that the move will save money by ending the lease payments the college pays now to be at President's Place. The mayor will also be asking the City Council to approve using $9 million from the Community Preservation Fund to purchase the Adams Academy building and 2 vacant adjacent buildings.
We've had enough of the whole Woodward School stuff and the trustee and the money grab that it's become. I want to secure the Adams Academy for its future, so we'll take it either by negotiation or by eminent domain, whatever the value of that building may be. So what that'll do is allow us then to go forward and plan for a presidential library/center, whatever we're going to call it, in honor of John Adams and probably his son, John Quincy Adams, the 2 presidents from Quincy. So this will, it's community preservation monies, and the Community Preservation Committee voted to recommend it to me. Now I submit the appropriation, as I do each year, on community preservation projects to the City Council for their approval.
Koch says he wants to take those properties by eminent domain to stop the Woodward School for Girls from forcing a sale of the properties. The school alleges that its trust fund owns the properties, and a judge did agree. The mayor said rather than go through legal proceedings, he wants to take the properties by eminent domain and create a library for volumes gifted to the city by President John Adams. He says those works are currently on loan to the Boston Public Library. He's still waiting to hear if they'll be released to Quincy. Now, the state has agreed to accept Quincy's plans for a new Squantum Elementary School into a program that could reimburse the city for a large part of the cost of a new school. The Massachusetts School Building Authority says it will examine Quincy's request to replace the over 100-year-old Squantum School, which Mayor Thomas Koch says is inadequate for today's educational needs. The city now has to prove that it can finance and manage construction of a new school. The new Quincy High School, New Central, and Southwest Middle School also received state reimbursements. Coming up, we will check in with Quincy College President Rick DeCristofaro next.
When the COVID pandemic began, scientists had been studying similar viruses for years, so they had a head start creating this vaccine. They also started making the vaccine early, hoping it would be approved after clinical trials found it was safe and effective. Learn more.
Well, it's that time again, Manuel.
What time is that, Kathy?
Time to tell the people about the South Shore Science Festival.
That's right. It is Saturday, April 24th.
From 10 till 3 Eastern Time. And for more details, see our website, southshorescience.online.
Our keynote speaker is from NASA, head mapmaker for the Mars project.
Dr. Fred Califf III named 2 places on Mars for his hometown in Massachusetts. One is Quincy, one is Squantum.
So April 24th is being proclaimed as Dr. Fred Califf Day by Mayor Koch. Dr. Califf will speak at noontime.
And some other things for people to enjoy. 3D printing, trees, Boston Scientific, kids science fair projects, and more. And a new time slot this year is at 7:30 p.m.
Why is it later, Kathy?
Well, that's because our Nobel laureate speaker, who was from Melbourne, Australia, Dr. Peter Doherty, will be speaking live.
Dr. Doherty is an immunologist, and his work about viruses, antigens, and vaccines is helping to save lives.
So to learn more and to register, check out Eventbrite or southshorescience.online.
Don't forget to register. See you on Saturday, April 24.
Bye.
Enjoy.
We, the people of Quincy, have been stuck due to this pandemic. Society has come to a quick halt. However, Cleaner Greener Quincy is coming back on May 1st. T-shirts for volunteers will be provided by the Quincy Parks Conservancy. Tools, trash bags, trash gloves, and trash pickup will be provided by the City of Quincy. The cleanup is from 9 a.m. to noon. To register, call 617-376-1251 or email pdoherty@quincyma.gov. Our beautiful city really needs your help.
We're happy to be checking back in with the Quincy College President, Dr. Richard DeCristofaro, for a little spring update on how things are going at the college and what's coming up this year. Hi, Rick.
Hi, how are you, Joe? Thanks for having me, first of all, and I'm glad you're doing well, because you are absolutely the voice and most times the picture of Quincy. So thank you for all you do and Access TV does. We really appreciate it in the college for all you do for us. But we also look at the city and say what a tremendous value you offer to all the citizens of Quincy. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And I'll pass that on to our team. How's your team doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're working hard, and there's a lot going on. It's springtime, so we still have some events that I can talk to you a little bit about. But I wanted to probably talk more about April 26th, as you know. We have a Quincy City Council presentation meeting, and it is about a new space, for Quincy College. And it's interesting because it's the mayor's vision, and he knows this college so very, very well as he knows, our great city. So his vision and working with, the city council, who really, is obviously mindful, of the budget and of how much is being spent, but also they're also incredibly focused on opportunity. So there's a ton of challenges. But I believe they feel, as the mayor does, and so many in the city feel, that there's so much more opportunity within so many of the projects going on in the city, but focusing on a new space, for Quincy College. Joe, you may remember some of this, but the college has been somewhat nomadic. That's really what they've been. It goes back to they were looking for space initially. Actually, the college really had its start with parent-teacher organizations in the city, elementary, in the early 50s, saying, we want a place for our students to go, our children, when they get to that point, to stay local and to take college courses. So it grew, from there. But it's just interesting. It came from the neighborhoods of Quincy.
It was called the 13th grade, as I recall, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's really what they did. And they started with some college courses and then kept going on with incredible school committee support at the time as well. But, they looked at South Junior for space. They looked at Central Middle School, Central Junior High School for space, the old Washington School down in Quincy Point. Then they were at college was at the Quincy High School Trade School at Quincy High School for a long period of time. They're, of course, right now, President's Place. They were at the old Ledger building down here at the corner, Temple Place. They used Temple Street building. They used the old courthouse, if you remember the old courthouse, and Newport Ave, and certainly Coddington, 1500 Hancock, Bethany Church. So, and there's probably about 2 or 3 more locations that this college has been in. So, I think what we're looking for, certainly what the mayor is suggesting and working with, is take a look at a place that has our students have a real sense of belonging, and ownership and empowerment and pride in Quincy community. Because I think, when you see where that building is placed, and then you have the Hancock green right out there, it's a really beautiful urban setting for a college, that you can see students out there studying, shooting the breeze, go buying coffee, go buying lunch, and sitting on that lawn. So that's a nicer part, a really nice part of that vision. But it's also, when we look at, we need, here, what we've done at President's Place, we've looked at floors, the 7th floor and the 2nd floor, and we've given them up. We want to save rent, But also, as we've done that, we've really focused on what the student needs are. So we've done a lot of really good things, but having a new space would give us, we're expanding sciences at the college, so science lab space, is something that's critical. A student union where students can, sit and become, using really affinity groups, that they can sit with and they can talk about the studies or just about social and hang around. Because student life, in a commuter college is absolutely critical, to draw, if you have a course, where do you go after that? So we're looking at really something that's cohesive and college cultural to go forward at Quincy College. So, there's a lot of different things we can use that building for. The rent right now increases here at President's Place. And everyone should know that we will pay a steep rent for that space, above City Hall. We'll pay a lot for that space in rent, but it'll be consistent. Here we don't have any consistency in our rent. So that would be very, very helpful in that way. And to have the college be a part of the downtown revitalization is also something that's critical. That it's got the health components to downtown can really be a great place for our nurses and clinical operations. So the mayor has talked about, and I think Fox Rock has talked about having us have some space in the building down there, a medical building, so our students can be right there and have some incredible connections medically. So and for clinical. So there's a lot of pluses for it. I think people know that. So in that presentation on the 26th, I'll be talking a lot about all the different aspects of the college that connect us to the city, like the high school and the things we're doing now in the high school. So there's a lot. I don't want to keep going on about that meeting, but it is critical to the future of the college. And, I hope that what we present has the city council really thinking positively about this new venture, because it really is the future of Quincy College, the only municipal college in the country.
Right, which is a key point. And the mayor talked a lot about it during his State of the City address as well. The importance, going forward. Do you think enrollment will benefit from a new home, Rick?
Yeah, I think so. I think what we're doing now is we're seeing a real consistency and stabilization in the enrollment. When we budgeted, when I first got here, the budget, we budgeted really for -6% in enrollment. Just like everyone else, all the other community colleges, because we said we wanted to balance our budget, and we did. The Board of Governors, Attorney Paul Barbadero was the chairperson, and they were leading the way saying, look, we need to stop, growing and growing and growing without the enrollment base that we need. So there was a ton of reorganization to balance that budget. So it's balanced. I look forward to this year balancing the budget as well. Our enrollment, last year we said we'd be -6% in enrollment. We beat that in the fall of 20. We lowered that to like a -3%. We beat that in the spring, this spring right here. We're beating it again in summer of this summer. So when you look at the fall and you look at the spring, we're doing, I think, equal to or better than the surrounding community colleges. So we're working hard at a lot of marketing. We're doing a lot, and I want to do so much more with Quincy Cable. And to make sure that the word gets out through cable, all the really great things that we're doing. So that's a priority. We're doing a lot more social media marketing. The Quincy Summit course, that we have a regular presence there as well. So I think those kinds of things, plus the idea that we're looking at online courses or in person. Now, I would love to say 100% of our enrollment, our students are coming back in the fall, and they'll all be here. But there's some that are pretty comfortable with online coursework. So we have to think about that. And in order to keep that stabilized enrollment, we have to give our clients, our students, options. So those options are open, which means scheduling becomes so much more difficult because you really don't know where your clientele is driving you, and enrollment absolutely here drives the bus. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to stabilize our enrollment, and I think we'll add some programs that I think will bring in new enrollment. So I think we're in a much better spot than presidents before me that faced a lot more obstacles. So I'm very, very fortunate. I have the faculty here is extraordinary. The administrative staff work so very, very hard. We created a welcome center that used to be, it was actually Barnes & Noble had that front part of Hancock Street that looks out onto Hancock Green. What we did was Barnes & Noble moved to another area, and we looked at that and said, okay, how can we make this so much more efficient for our students? So in other words, when you're on different floors, a student comes in and sees the admissions person, and the admissions person talks and says, okay, now you're going to go to the second floor and see the advisors. And the advisor says, well, you need financial aid. That's on the fourth, so now we have it all in one welcome center. We have advising and admissions and financial aid. Advisors. So there's like 4 or 5 components that are right there as you come in. And so you can do this kind of wrap around one-stop enrollment. So far, far more effective. So that's how we're trying to use our space, much more effectively here, rather than having, 5 floors being used. We're basically now on floor 1, 3, and 4, where our classrooms and faculty are on that 4th floor. So we're trying very, very hard to live within our means, and that's the way the college has to go.
Right.
And absolutely will continue to do that.
Yeah. What role do you think Quincy College will play in a post-pandemic Quincy, Rick? How important is Quincy College in re-educating folks who might have to do some career shifts?
Yeah, I think it's critical. When we look at the CARES Act, and the money coming in from CARES and the work that our workforce development staff has done an extraordinary job. Not alone, because the planning department here under Jim Fatsy's over at Coddington, my old stomping grounds over there, they've done an incredible job looking at the programs that we offer and say, this is how we can help the unemployed, the people that are on welfare, that are really hurt by COVID, that we can employ them. But you train, so we have a ton of training going on in a lot of great areas, whether it's computer science, medical billing and coding, biotechnology, food service training. We also have an addiction to recovery where we work with recovering addicts to give them training to go forward. It leads to employment. And then our students take advantage of it as well with internships in a lot of different places. So, we get well over $400,000 from the mayor's office and from the planning department. Very, very thoughtful. But we have to apply. You got to apply for that. So you have to have a vision for that. And our workforce development team does have that vision. And I think the offerings, in fact, tomorrow we'll be down to the Quincy Housing Authority where their educational services are. And we'll have, open houses from 1 to 3 and 5 to 7. And Jim Marathis there is offering kind of cookout type of situation to bring residents in so we, Quincy College, can share with them all these great openings, and hopefully they take advantage because we have a lot of people from outside of Quincy apply for these positions basically in all of these critical areas, But what we want to do is save so many spots for Quincy residents only. That's not what the planning department is saying. It's not what the mayor is saying, but we're Quincy College and we want to service Quincy residents as much as we possibly can. So we have a waiting list, but that group of even the residents there, certainly can take advantage of a lot of things. And that's how we see our continued extension into neighborhoods and the community as a whole.
I know the college certainly already has a long history of working with the Quincy Public Schools and your previous role as superintendent to give folks, students, continuing paths to education. I'm assuming that'll be important than ever. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, because, I still once in a while say, oh, the superintendent. No, I'm the president. But, and very much alike. The roles are very much alike, except for the fact that right now it's a business. And I need enrollment. And we're at Quincy Public Schools. I was spoiled rotten by a great school committee, a terrific mayor, wonderful teachers and all that sort of stuff. We have wonderful people here, but we need to work harder. So that's the focus. So as we begin to work harder, we've been working with State Street Foundation since last July. Actually, I think we talked about it very briefly at one time. Lord knows when it was, but we talked. So we got a significant grant from the State Street Foundation to the college in our partner, Quincy Public Schools, that really helps with early college, high school. A portion of it. The other portion will be the Department of Education that we're working with as well. And what that means is students at both high schools, in grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12, have the opportunity to take college-aligned, rigorous courses, and get credit. So as they go 10, 11, 12, could come out with as many as 16, 19, 20 credits towards their associate's degree, or eventually their baccalaureate degree. So it's a tremendous opportunity at no cost. So it's a tremendous opportunity for students. And that pathway that you mentioned, that's a significant pathway. The other pathway is dual enrollment. And dual enrollment has, right now, there's just about 200 North Quincy students that are taking dual enrollment. That's for more the advanced and the honors group. Early college, high school is for the underrepresented, low income, high needs students. So we're covering as many bases as we can. Career and tech also has pathways in early childhood, computer science, and criminal justice. So, and what we're hoping here is that these students don't stop there. They come right to Quincy College and continue their pathway to their associates. In September, we're beginning a true baccalaureate program in business. Really? It's been talked about since 2016, and no one's blame. But when things got started, it had to stop for some reason. Well, we're going full speed ahead. So we have in September, we'll be probably approved in October, but we have a very highly enrolled business and finance program that what we'll do is we'll ask those students, please stay, don't go anywhere, because this will be your year 3. And then we're going to provide a year 4. So that will be the first baccalaureate program here. And so to reflect that, at both high schools, we're looking at another pathway in business and finance. The other pathway would be healthcare that will lead to our nurses program. So we're trying to gear our high schools as much as possible, because these students will go anywhere to college, but we're really focusing on, when I was there, it was like 81% of our students went to a 2 or 4 year. Believe it or not, the state says that the average should be about 85. I think that's very hard in cities, but we'll increase that, because we'll have some of these students that may not graduate on time, right. Be a part of these programs. So we need to manage these and do our very best. But State Street Foundation came through with a pretty high 6-figure foundational budget for us, and they're supplying administrators. We'll hire them. 2 administrators at each high school, North Quincy, to help manage this program, meet with the kids, talk with parents in informational sessions. So it's really a great thing, and something to really look forward to. And Rob Shaw and Tag both have Larry, both have really done a lot with this, been on our team since last September. Keith Segala, and of course, Kevin Mulvey has been behind this the whole way. And he's a fine superintendent. I'm proud of him. And what his vision is, this fits his vision of the Quincy Public Schools. So there's a lot going on, and the partnerships are critical, and dual enrollment, as well as it's Archbishop Williams, it's Weymouth, it's Silver Lake. I'm trying very hard to get it Plymouth so we can feed right into our Plymouth campus. So working hard trying to do that, but these high school pathways are critical, I think. And the other criticality piece is the workforce development, making sure we have those solid partners that we can have our internships for our students and immediate employment for our students as well.
Yeah, well, that 4-year program needs state certification, Rick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're going through this whole process, just like everything else. It's bureaucracy. But we're meeting with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education on a very regular basis. We have another meeting today. We have to submit everything April 26th.
Okay.
So this nice date, on Monday, everything's going in and we should be absolutely fine and dandy. And we'll hear shortly, but I want the state to understand, we need to start to get the word out. We need to get parents in there to make them understand how great this thing is. So, but it's an accelerated process because of COVID, so everything is really kind of like, it's really narrow. So our team has been working on it. Megan Cassidy, who's the vice president here, has been working on it as well. So great things for students.
Okay.
Quincy students, yeah.
So the news is enrolling now at Quincy College for a 4-year baccalaureate business program.
Yes, because you're right, Joe. What I didn't mention was it's not just the students that are here now. There may be 40 students in business now that can continue there, but we can get students from community colleges, other community colleges that are business, that now they can transfer their students here to finish a baccalaureate here at Quincy College. So it's another recruiting effort as well.
Okay, yeah, Bunker Hill, Massasoit, perhaps, other schools like that?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, Bunker Hill, Massasoit, Cape Cod.
Yep.
These schools that do that 2 year, we can benefit by taking their students. So the next baccalaureate down the road, before I get to assisted living, will be criminal justice. We can look at the criminal justice and computer science because we have those pathways from both high schools now that can really feed into a baccalaureate. So it's a lot of work. This faculty has done a ton of work in a very short time. The business faculty and Dr. Yatsen, who's the senior vice president for academic affairs, she's been extraordinary as well. So it's definitely a team effort, which I love.
Yeah. How is the nursing program going, Rick? It took a tremendous hit years ago. Is it rebounding?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the nursing program's back. Just probably right now about 105, 106 registered nurse and PM. We're struggling with the practical nurse enrollment more than the registered nurse, and we're trying to get a hold of why. So we're working with that PN program. We used to have it at Plymouth and Quincy, PN practical nurse, but now it's here. I mean, it's healthy. It's 22, 23, which is fine, but I'd love to get it down to Plymouth as well. Registered nursing is going it's about 40 in the cohort, which 40, 41, which is great. It takes a lot of work. There's a lot of supervision from the Board of Registered Nursing from the state that when we lost the program here, they want to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do, and we are. So it's back. I just don't want it to grow too quickly, even though it's revenue, but I want to get a hold of it. We have an excellent staff, 6 or 7 nurses that are doing an incredible job with our students at both Quincy and Plymouth. I want to keep them, work as a team, and then begin to increase the enrollment when we're ready, not necessarily our clients. So it's back, and I thank you for asking that question because a lot of people think that there is no nursing program anymore. We lost the accreditation, therefore it's gone. But what our goal is to build that program back to where it was. And it was a significant program for not only Quincy residents, but the South Shore and Boston as well. So we're going to continue working that, but it's a fine program.
A lot of students like to experience athletics as part of their college life, and I know you have Jack Raymer on board there. How's that program going?
Yeah, he's quite a character, and I've known him forever from the Quincy Public Schools, but he works so hard. In the budget, he's half-time, and all I look at is, that's great. He's really a full-time, but he's out there, first of all, recruiting coaches. So in the fall, we're going to have men's baseball, which they've never had, right? Baseball, we'll continue men's basketball, women's soccer, cross country for men and women. So we're moving forward with athletics, and some people may say, well, why athletics, whatever, but they have to understand that that's student life, And what students do is they get into a routine. I work hard in the classroom, and I work hard on the court or the field, so it gives them routine, regimen, so it's not too much downtime, and that's the way it should be. Even though it's a commuter college, you have these pieces of student life, like our honor society as well. Those pieces that are so meaningful to students, and so affordable as well with the college. So so athletics is moving forward, and we're adding that probably 3 or 4 men's and women's teams. For the fall and for the winter. So we're looking forward to that. And Jack does. He does really an extraordinary job.
Yeah. We heard the mayor speak about how the classroom he calls is the great equalizer. Do you see Quincy College serving in that role? Certainly, post-pandemic with some of the racial disparities that have been uncovered.
Yeah, when you think about pre-COVID, post-COVID, you look from the same lens, and it's all about opportunity. And as the mayor says, the equalizer, because what this college does is it offers. Sometimes I'll say to people, really, it's what you take is really what you will make. And that's why 2-year colleges. Right now the enrollment across the country is down due to COVID. But post-COVID, what I see is we see increased enrollment, but enrollment based on industry, a lot of industry needs, data-driven industry needs. It's not, you can't just say, oh, we'll try this. You need to implement programs that will be successful in whether they're internships, practicums, but right to employment. So that's the equalizer, and it's interesting because you've got the classroom, but you also have this related field. You have clinicals like the nurses do, like our surgical tech students do, like our physical therapy assistant students do. They all have that coupled piece of academic rigor, but also that experience that's going to get them a job and have them be so very competent.
Are you going to have an in-person commencement this year?
Absolutely. And we're going to go to Veterans Memorial Field. You know where that is. And it's beautiful, and our commencement speaker will be Rob Hale, who had a heck of a lot to do with how beautiful that Veterans Stadium is. But, you know Rob Hale from Fox Rock. You know him from Granite Telecommunications. I met with him yesterday to talk about what his message, would be. And I'm really not going to tell Rob Hale what to say, but he has a real solid message about life and about success and about it's okay to fail. So that's what he'll be talking to students about. So I am hoping, and you will hope with me, that May 21st, it will be an absolute day like today.
That would be lovely, yeah. Yeah,
it's not like graduation over at high school. It was like, oh please, oh please, oh please, and then you start to get cloudy about 4 o'clock, But no, we're really looking forward to it, and it is the first one right here. Someone had said that they were there before at the stadium, but I can't find any records of that. But so we'll say this is the first. If someone says it's wrong, it's okay. But it will be beautiful, and I think for our students, we need to allow only 2 guests to come in, so everything will be preceded. Just like the high school graduations last year, they'll know exactly where they're sitting. We'll have ushers to have them in and sit down. There'll be no gathering. I think it's going to be a wonderful day for the college and for this city, but more importantly for our students and faculty as well. Yeah.
Anything else we should let folks know about, do you think, right now, Rick?
No, I think we talked about the high schools. The budget again. We're looking again at a balanced budget, and the city council, was excellent last year in helping us with our health benefits, and I think they think a lot about that. And and we're a city department in some ways, and in the way we are. So I want to continue to work with them. They're wonderful people, wonderful. They love the city, and I want to keep the lines of communication open from the college to the council. I think it has not been in the past probably 4 or 5 years. It's been like the college will do their own thing, and then all of a sudden here we are with we need some benefits. So the mayor extraordinary, of course, and their extraordinary support. So I hope that continues. The only way it's going to continue is if there's honest, open communication, and that's really what my aim is. So thank you for that.
Okay. Website, quincycollege.edu, I know is the best place to go, right?
Correct. And check out a new website. We revised the website, so I think that offers a lot as well. So anytime for you and for cable, I'd be glad to maybe hopefully come over there and not do this by Zoom, but be able to shake your hand and thank you for everything you're doing.
Look forward to that day, Rick. Thanks so much.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Special thanks to Rick DeCristofaro for joining us today. Thank you to our crew. Thank you for watching. On Monday, we'll chat with John Yazwinski of Father Bill's and Mainspring Homeless Shelters. A reminder for you, please do visit our website at qatv.org. You'll find our latest programs, news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at Quincy Access Television, I'm Joe Catalano. Please stay safe.